Friday, March 7th. Beautiful morning, absolutely beautiful. It got down to about freezing this morning, but I think they're forecasting maybe +8 today. I think in Fahrenheit that's definitely upper 40s. So let me turn the camera off of me. No, this is not a bombing range for the military. No, this is not the surface of some strange planet. It is my yard. I'm sure if any of you have seen past videos of my yard, you may have noticed all of the molehills, and there are a lot, as you can see. You know, some people say, well, that's a sign of a healthy yard. That means you got a lot of worms, which is the main, I think, diet for moles, or as we call them here in Lithuania, kurmas. That's the positive way to look at it. More than likely, it's also a sign that your lawn is not that healthy, because they don't just eat worms. They eat a lot of these, what we call in America, grubs. Here in Lithuania, we call them grambalys. It's the larva for mainly like June bugs. These little white larvae. They do get eaten. We've got these things. They're called I think they're called mole crickets. Here in Lithuania, we call them karklys. Nasty little thing, harmless but ugly. But I think the moles do eat them. And I would encourage the moles to eat as many of those as they can. All the nasty things. They can leave the worms alone. But I realize there's things you can do about these moles. You can get traps, you can get poisons, all kinds of things you can do. You can supposedly put some propane gas down in the hole. You can exhaust a lawnmower, but I've got so many tunnels and holes that'd be pointless. I did actually catch one in a trap a couple years ago. I actually caught one by hand last year. I didn't intend to kill the little bugger, but he started to get away from me, and I went at him with the hand spade, and I won't give you the gory details, but that was the end of that kormas. But that kind of bothered me. I don't like to kill things, honestly. So I've made my peace with having moles. Everybody's got them here. Neighbors got them. I've got them way worse than the neighbors. Not sure why. I don't really get them in the garden or the greenhouse. That soil is just too loose. Their little tunnels and holes collapse on them. They prefer the more hard-packed dirt of the yard, but not a big deal. I learned to deal with it pretty much. I've let this sit. I've let it go since basically last fall, so they've had plenty of time to create all these hills. During the summertime, I generally clean it up once a week so I can cut the grass. As you can imagine, it's not easy to cut the grass with all this going on, but it's not near as many. When I do it each week, usually I have to clean up maybe 5 or 10 new hills, but again, I've made my peace with living with moles. There's no getting rid of them. While I'm out here, if any of you saw a recent video where I showed the elk on my trail cams, and I show other things, you can see the trail cam is right here. It's just attached to my fence. And there's actually that huge apple tree, and there's apples all over the yard here. And I suspect that's what the elk were eating. You can kind of see there's a kind of a pond out there. Another, I don't know, 30 meters beyond that is that little river that I talk about and show in a lot of my videos. But again, while I'm out here, you can sort of see the tire tracks, and down there you can see where that old fool got stuck earlier this winter, and I had to pull him out. I don't know why he was thinking this was a road. Clearly it's not, but this is Lithuania. Nothing should surprise. So once the weather improves a little bit, which it looks like it will, they're talking, I think, about +10 this weekend, which is 50 in Fahrenheit. Once these molehills dry up a little bit, and the ground is actually still frozen, I'll start cleaning them up. This is actually an old raised bed. Well, not old, it's been out here, I don't know, 2-3 years. Last year we did garlic in here. Actually, I think I see a couple garlic still coming up. Not sure what we're going to put in here this year. Maybe beets. These are actually kind of what we call here jamagus. It's kind of a wild strawberry. Obviously my compost box seen better days. I'm gonna have to redo that at some point in time. We've got some currant bushes here, surprisingly starting to bud. They do bud a little early. We've got black currant, red currant. These are some kind of real sour berries. I don't know exactly what they're called. They're very, very sour, not sweet at all, but very, very healthy, lots of vitamins. So again, as long as I'm out here, I'll show you. I put these raised beds in. We haven't even used them yet. I put them in the fall last year. You can still see most of the soil, or all the soil is still in bags. Gotta take care of that. A lot to do out here. We do have our garlic, which you can clearly see, winter garlic starting to come up. Normal, we'll still have plenty of frost, plenty of cold weather, but garlic is pretty hardy. I think it'll be fine. We do have normal domestic strawberries here in these raised boxes, but back to the molehills. You know, I will show a clip here in a second of what it should look like. Versus what it looks like now. And here is what's usually called the national food or the national dish of Lithuania, Cepelinai, which obviously, or maybe not so obviously, stands for zeppelin due to the shape. It's similar to kugelis, what I had shown in a previous video, but it's just in the shape of a zeppelin and has meat inside. Some people call it a big dumpling, but this was homemade by my neighbor. He was nice enough to bring me over one. He came over to help prune the apple trees and brought this delicious dish, so I'm going to tear into it while it's still warm. And here's one more nice lunch I like to have. Not surprisingly, here in Lithuania, it's another variation of a potato-based dish. This is just another version of what they call blini. Again, as I said in a recent video, they call a lot of things here blinis, but this is sort of like the kugelis type potato mixture. It's got meat inside. Kugelis is baked. Zeppelinas are boiled, and this is fried. But if you haven't caught on, there's a lot of potatoes that get eaten here in Lithuania, but I like potatoes, so it's a good thing. First crocus. Long ways to go yet. Most crocuses are just kind of poking up, but this one decided to open up, so we're on our way to spring. Plenty of cold to come. I'm sure we'll get a bit more snow, but we've turned the corner. One other thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, I've been talking recently in some of my videos about how happy I am that we finally got some frost in the ground. I had said that the frost here went down, I don't know, maybe 30 centimeters, maybe about 10-12 inches, which again is good for many reasons. However, you know, there are some drawbacks. Is if you can see my posts on my gate here push up. Obviously, those of us that are familiar with this, it's called frost heave, when things push up. The way around that is if you're going to put a post in or concrete, you try to make it as deep or deeper than the frost is going to go. They call that the frost line. These posts go in, I think, about 1 meter or 3 feet. You'd think that'd be plenty, right? Unfortunately, I've got this little storm drain and it goes down a ways and it's all open in there. So basically what happens is the frost gets in here and it freezes everything beyond here, between here and my posts, much deeper than the normal 30 centimeters that exists everywhere else, and it goes deeper than the posts are buried in the ground. So that's why I get this frost heave on my posts. It's not a big deal usually when the frost completely goes out of the ground. It settles back down, but sometimes I gotta adjust my bricks, or sometimes even my gate needs to be adjusted a little bit just due to the height of those posts. Hello everybody. Saturday, March 8th, absolutely gorgeous day. Little frosty this morning, but supposed to get up to +9 today, which is nearing 50 in Fahrenheit, so very nice. Little to no wind, as you can see. Sun is out, supposed to be out all day, but more importantly, it's actually International Women's Day, which I think isn't that big of a deal in America, but it is a big deal here in Lithuania and Europe in general. The tradition is obviously to thank women for everything they do for us, and give them tulips, not just any flower. I think tulips is what you give on Women's Day, but I think the police even randomly hand out tulips to women here in Lithuania today. So again, thank you to all the women and everything you do. And now for something completely different. I want to talk to you older folks about something important. I have to apologize for that very bad red-green impression that I just did. For those of you that aren't from America, I think I still got a few Lithuanian viewers. You probably don't know who Red Green is, but great guy, kind of my hero. He's a Canadian guy that's got a funny TV show that that we like to watch. But on to the topic of taboo subjects. Where do I start? There's a lot going on in the world right now. Obviously there's a lot going on with politics, namely the president and the government in the US, obviously the war in Ukraine, the fighting in the Middle East, artificial intelligence, transgender, the list goes on. And I intentionally typically don't talk about these things on my YouTube channel and generally in life, and there's reasons for that, multiple reasons. You may be asking, well, if you don't talk about it and it's taboo, why talk about it now? And again, there's several reasons. I think one of them is the obvious. You know, everything that is going on in the world is not real cheerful. A lot of opinions out there, a lot of disagreements and debates, and when people click on a YouTube channel, I think specifically mine, they want it to be cheerful. And if you're anything like me, YouTube is an escape. You know, we call it escapism. Escape from all of the things that are going on in the world, everything you see on the news and hear about every day, you just get away from it. So again, no place for that on my channel. So why am I talking about it again? There's numerous reasons. One of the other reasons I think is I get the suspicion maybe some people think that I'm kind of living in my own little world here, away from it all, not keeping up on current events, and I think it's the opposite. I know exactly what's going on in the world. Some of it's a lot closer to home for me. Obviously the Ukraine war, I won't get into my views on that whole thing, but it's a mess. You know, Ukraine is we don't border with Ukraine, but they're a little bit too close for comfort. But we do border with Belarus, which obviously is an ally of Russia. Again, I won't go into all that, but point is, it's very close to home. all of these issues or topics, or even going back to COVID, you know, again, it was a kind of a political touch point. You were either on one side or another. You were, you know, anti-vax, or you were this or that. And again, I won't get into all that, but I think that basically, you know, when it comes to opinions, you know the old saying about opinions. Everybody's got one. I won't go into that, but I don't share my opinion. And of course, I've got an opinion on all these subjects, but I don't share my opinion, certainly not on social media. Facebook, YouTube, really, that's the only social media that I'm on. But even outside of that, just in general society, I don't have a lot of close friends. I don't even have a lot of conversations with people, but I certainly try to avoid and won't bring up any of these subjects. It's just, you know, leave it alone, because that's the thing. Years and years ago, before all this internet and social media, there was obviously hot topics and there was debates and things that people were either on one side of or the other side of. But in those days, the worst thing that could happen is you'd get into an argument with maybe a couple people in a particular room or at a diner over some coffee. But nowadays, with all this social media, I mean, you post something and there are people out there all around the world just ready to pounce and say something nasty or negative. So I would say that, you know, do what you want. Everybody's got an opinion, and some people actually kind of like having a good argument. That's not me. So if you're gonna post something on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, you better be ready for somebody to disagree with you and say something nasty. We've got enough nastiness in the world. And likewise, for all of you bullies, or I think they call them trolls, these type of people that just kind of sit out there and wait and just search all of this social media to try to pounce on somebody and be nasty and negative. Again, if that's how you get your kicks, you know, whatever. I don't get caught up in it, because again, I keep my opinion to myself. You know, everything I forgot to mention also, one of the hot topics is obviously immigration. You know, and again, everybody's got an opinion on that, especially in America. I won't go into the minutia, but again, it impacts me. I'm a U.S. citizen, but I've noticed in my last few trips to the U.S., and you can't really blame all of this on Trump or any other person, but it's been a lot tougher to get through customs. I'm getting a lot of strange questions. Every once in a while I get pulled into a room for some more strange questions. But point is, all of these things that are going on in the world do impact me. Obviously I've got an opinion, but I'm not going to say which side of whatever topic that I'm on. But I guess you know, to kind of continue to quote Red Green, my hero, we're all in this thing together. Keep your sticks on the ice. I'm pulling for you.